Number 11, Oklahoma is going to Tuscaloosa to take on number 4, Alabama, man. What a game this is going to be. All right. Number 4 versus number 11. Two teams square in the middle of playoff conversations. Alabama, they're at the top, man. They're thinking top 4 seed, first round bye. Let's go win a national championship under Kalen DeBoer, all right? Oklahoma's on the flip side. They're in, cannot lose, have to have it. If they lose another game, they're done. Playoff titles are over, all right? Oklahoma has to win this game. Do we see the injured John Mateer that we've seen since the thumb injury that we heard about? Or do we get Tennessee John Mateer? Which ones do we get? Against Tennessee, he kind of had an average game, but the key that he had was that he also had 80 rushing yards on top of that. Those are the kinds of plays that we saw earlier in the season against my Michigan Wolverines to help them win those kinds of games, right? There were games that they couldn't throw the ball very well. Maybe they have struggled to run the ball with their running backs all season, but John Mateer would make up for that. He didn't there for 3 or 4 games in a row. He didn't against Texas. That's why they lost. This is one of the biggest keys of this game. Which John Mateer shows up today? Which John Mateer shows up on Saturday? This is a must-win for Oklahoma. They cannot lose this game. They might be able to get in 3 losses. I'd give it about a 10% chance. I think Texas would have to lose twice, which that is very real possibility. They have to play Georgia and Texas A&M in the next 3 weeks, but I don't see a world in which Oklahoma gets in with 3 losses unless everything just completely goes haywire everywhere else in the country. Oklahoma has to have it. This is a gotta-have-it game. Every single game that they play from here on out is a gotta-have-it game for the Sooners. Does Oklahoma's D-line show up again? All right, they have 33 sacks already this year. Their D-line is one of the best in the country. Unfortunately, Alabama's O-line is one of the best pass-blocking teams in the country. So, does that scale to the level of Alabama? Does Oklahoma's D-line scale to how good Alabama's O-line is? That is a huge question mark I have for this game. Again, kind of like if John Mateer plays like he did against Tennessee, if that D-line can play as good as they have all season, Oklahoma is going to have a real shot to at least make this game close, all right? Who shows up for Alabama's receiving corps? It was Jeremy Bernard last week. He led the way with 79 yards, okay? They had 5 players with 25-plus receiving yards last week. Ryan Williams did not have a great game. He had the touchdown, but he only had 33 yards on a touchdown, right? So, if he continues to not show up in games like that he should be doing, who's going to step up? They've been able to every single week, and I think that they will be able to do so again because I haven't seen anything to show me that they haven't. Can either of these teams run the ball? Can either of them run the ball? Let's see. Alabama has 3.5 yards per carry. Oklahoma has 3.9. Can either team figure out how to run the ball in this game? And I don't think they will because both D-lines are very, very, very good. If you're trying to fix your run game, I don't think you want to do it against either one of these two teams, okay? But I think that might be where John Mateer is the ultimate equalizer because I think that he'll be able to run the ball if he can, if he's healthy. I think that him being healthy and being confident in himself, I know the thumb has nothing to do with the legs, right? But it's more of a confidence feel, right? I feel like if you're being able to throw the ball, you have more confidence to take off and run the ball. So if he's playing with confidence, then I think Oklahoma can make this game really close. But I don't know if it's going to be enough, even if he can do that. I feel like there's more question marks for Oklahoma to win this game. If Alabama can run the ball, they'll run away with this game. Oklahoma just wants it to be close. They just want to have a shot at the end, kind of like they did against Tennessee, right? They had a lot of forced turnovers against Tennessee that kept them in that game in the first half because Tennessee outmatched them in every single stat line except for the turnover margin in the first half of that game. So can they get something similar to that? Can they get a similar messy game from Alabama? Well, I don't think you want that. I don't think you want to be betting on that against Ty Simpson, right? He's just like Fernando Mendoza. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the country this year. You don't want to have to force him to play bad because I don't think that he's going to. He's one of those dudes where he's just going to sit in there. He's going to take a shot. He's going to do what he needs to do to make a good throw and win a game. So, for that reason, I think because of the defense being able to key in on John Mateer's running game, because they can't run the ball. I don't think that he'll be able to throw the ball very well. I think that they'll be able to key in on John Mateer's runs to slow that down enough. Throw in a few key throws from Ty Simpson, and I think this is Alabama's game to lose, man. I think Alabama is going to stay as a top 5 team for another week, and then they got 2 more weeks to finish it out. Stay in the top 4, get a first-round bye. Oklahoma, I believe, will get knocked out of the playoff contention this weekend.